On Monday, Bangladesh's Prime Minister resigned and fled the country following weeks of escalating protests against a controversial quota system for government jobs. The demonstrations, initially focused on the quota issue, broadened into a significant challenge to her 15-year rule. The unrest culminated in thousands of protesters storming her official residence and other buildings linked to her party and family, underscoring the widespread discontent and demand for political change. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's abrupt departure has heightened the risk of further instability in Bangladesh, a densely populated nation grappling with multiple crises, including high unemployment, widespread corruption, and the impacts of climate change. The situation has become even more dire with the main airport in Dhaka suspending operations due to security concerns. Violence surrounding Hasina's resignation has resulted in at least 41 deaths and around 200 injuries, though these figures have not been independently verified. Reports indicate that more than a dozen people were killed when protesters set fire to a hotel owned by a party leader in Jashore, a town in the southwest. In response to the escalating unrest, General Widening, the military chief, announced that he was temporarily assuming control of Bangladesh. Soldiers were deployed to manage the situation and curb the violence. Meanwhile, President Mohammed Shahabuddin, following discussions with Widening and opposition leaders, declared late Monday that parliament would be dissolved. He also promised the formation of a national government to oversee the transition and arrange for fresh elections as soon as possible. After the embattled Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was seen boarding a military helicopter with her sister, General Widening addressed the nation, aiming to reassure the public that order would be restored. Despite these assurances, experts cautioned that the path to stability would be challenging and prolonged. As news of Hasina's resignation spread, hundreds of thousands of people took to the streets, waving flags and celebrating. However, the celebrations quickly turned violent, with protesters attacking government and party symbols, ransacking buildings, and setting fires, further exacerbating the chaos. On the streets of Dhaka, student protester Siraj Sailkin declared, "This is not just the end of the tyrant Sheikh Hasina. With this, we put an end to the mafia state that she has created." His statement reflects the widespread sentiment among some protesters who see Hasina's resignation as a significant victory not only against her leadership but also against the broader system of governance they accuse her of corrupting. Protests began last month as students peacefully rallied against a quota system for government jobs that they claimed favored those with connections to Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's Awami League party. However, a violent crackdown transformed these demonstrations into an unprecedented challenge to Hasina's rule, exposing deep-seated economic issues in Bangladesh, including falling exports and dwindling foreign exchange reserves. General Widening vowed that the military would investigate the severe crackdown, which has resulted in nearly 300 deaths since mid-July, some of the worst violence since the 1971 War of Independence. The violence has intensified outrage against the government, with nearly 100 people, including 14 policemen, reported dead on Sunday alone, according to Protom ALO, a leading Bengali-language newspaper. Additionally, at least 11,000 individuals have been arrested in recent weeks.